where that window razor scraper is.
I don't know, one of the bags in the office.
We'll do that tomorrow. Start it.
I'm sure I put one in there, not one up the top.
I know we had 2 or 3 of them. We'll do some tonight, I suppose.
Bit hard to see.
What do you mean? I can see it.
Okay.
Maybe the kids are in the pool next door.
I don't know.
Sounds like it. Let's see if I can find it. I need to put a towel down each time I do it, like sort of like that.
Yeah. So you want a tea towel?
Eh?
You want a tea towel?
Do I want a tea towel?
Yeah.
No, they sound like just one of the hand washes. Are they in there?
Oh, there's been, just look on in our old kitchen on the table, because I haven't cleaned the laundry covered up, the linen press up. I can't use a tea towel.
there, if you're there, hello. We're faffing around. I am going to probably drop the camera. I'm going to try and show you while I clean the window. So, razor blade.
Sprinklers off now. The other one's not come on, so I think the first one came on while we were inside. And we
What are
did
you talking about?
sprinklers, it's off now. 15 minutes
Okay.
exactly.
A mixture of, in here, dishwashing liquid, vinegar. Yes, vinegar. And we have never cleaned these windows since we got them, because the windows weren't the important part of what we had to do, which was refurbish them. Just letting that soapy water and vinegar stay in there for a little while. I'm going to use the blade of death. Well, actually, no, it's just a scraper. I'm sure people have done this before. Little bits of concrete and paint. What this will do is get most of the gunk off, and then we can use proper window cleaning equipment to clean the windows. This is mainly gunk off time. This is you won't see this, but this is a bowed piece of glass. A little bit tricky to work with.
Chamo says, do you reuse the vinegar inside?
Yes, make a nice vinaigrette.
I said
It's a
no.
Vanguela special.
Yeah.
Still quite warm tonight. It's about 80 degrees still, which is warm. It's too hot to do this during the day.
The glass moving.
Yes, very thin glass because it's 1940s glass, which means it's only about 3 mil thick. Of course, it won't look clean because I've done the inside. We'll go and do this side first, then do the inside. You can see bits of paint on the inside still. This shall be the top. Don't know what you can see up here, probably can't see up here.
No.
Where can they see down to? Where's my hand showing?
Just above the now.
Now, maybe I'll put it up to it so they can see. See a bit better. Bit better. I think you can see it a little bit. I'm not sure.
A little bit.
watching paint dry. Gentle clean. There's a fair bit of white paint on the inside, that's from the spray.
Yeah.
Very thin glass.
Which is good. Pushing so hard.
I'm not pushing that hard.
I know, I can see it moving.
What's this is thin glass? If we break one of these little panels, it's about $300 to fix each one. So I'm being careful. Right, we're going to leave that on there.
The finish on the wall.
I'm going to do on the inside.
The finish on the wall is called texture coat.
This,
Yeah.
yeah, there's hardwall plaster, and then this is an acrylic finish. It's got sand in it, and it's used with a special trowel. You will no longer hear me. I'm going to do that window on the inside, see if it comes in.
They call it. Oh yeah. Can you hear me? Because the phone's right over the other side. Shamo, hello. Can you hear me?
Can you see me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, we like the we like the texture coat. So can you hear me? I can, but it's very low. Probably because the camera's over the other side. Actually cleaned up, looks pretty good, eh? Too low. That's because I'm not sitting next to the bone. Hey Leroy. Oh, good, Chamo. It's the seats cleaning the window. You just did the outside. does look cleaner. It sounds like he's scratching it, but that's what they tell you to do, Chamo, because there's paint on the inside from the painter. I don't know if that smudge mark's outside or in. That was inside. Yeah, see, I don't know, like some of that, I don't know if it's inside. I think that's outside. Yeah. Today's program brought to you by window washing during the lockdown. Oh, well, you could come here then, Chamo. You can go and do all the French doors. Ajax, my God, I don't even know if they still sell Ajax. I actually don't think I've seen that in the shop for years, that brand. Yes, my Chi-Chi. If you can't hear me real good, that's because the phone is on the other side. Oh, you'd be experienced then, Chamo. Come and do all our house. That sound, actually, I don't like that sound. Well, a job is a job, eh? clean the windows, Monchichi. There was some paint splatter on the inside. Well, you can actually see the difference. Here it comes.
So it's mainly just got all the paint off, and bits of plaster. We'll show you. It needs a window clean now, if you like, with Windex or something like that.
Chamo can do it. He's done all of these sort of cleaning jobs, he says.
Right, yeah. You know that I'm just getting the crap off, basically.
Oh yeah, that would have been interesting. Chamo, blasting rocks, limestone. You wouldn't want to be hit by one of them.
Shamo specialises in blasting rock under 30-year-old RVs, just to clean them up. Okay, that's enough. Stephen's still too warm to do this. I'll give you an idea. See that? As all the crap come off. But it's not super clean, but to give you an idea, that's the one I've just done. That's the one I haven't done. So you can see what I actually got off was the majority of the crud. So just a big portion in the middle. Yeah, you can see a big difference when you stand back here. The one on the left, I haven't done. The one on the right, I have. Is it back to its former glory? Yeah, still needs a fair bit clean, but there you go. Like I say, it just needs a proper window clean now. That was a gunk clean. As you can see, that's what it used to look like. Anyway, it's pretty bored the hell out of people. But it had to be done.
Chamo says, I don't care about your windows. Talking to your wife.
Fine. You don't care about me working late into the evening cleaning windows.
So Bully's here, Munchichi's here, Leroy's here, and Fig Leaf is here.
Oh, it's a boys' club. I'm not going to get mad at anyone. I'm too old to get mad. Crush you between a large rock and a bulldozer, then bury you 19 feet below? Possibly.
That's alright, Chamo.
But I'm not going to get mad.
He's blasted rock, so.
I used to do that when I was doing survey. Middle of nowhere, a place called the Gascoyne River, hundreds of miles inland. We had to put in ley lines for water level machines. So we had to go all the way down from about 60 feet high down to river height and below, of course. The special propeller things they put in to measure the volume of water and the amount of water. And we had to blast through what we called hard red rock. Man, we drill all day and blast, pack and blast and hide, because this shit was so razor sharp when it blew up. So, yeah, lots of bangs. And then digging. After you blasted, you got to dig and set levels. It was about a week doing about 300 metres, about 1,000 foot. Where it started was in a tower where there were recording instruments. It could be radio trans-signalled every week. So people like who in the Gascoyne grow lots of fruit, veg, bananas, they knew a week or two in advance how much volume of water was coming down for irrigation. Yeah, we always, well, I don't know why you did that. We always blasted the same day we drilled, just to make sure that we didn't leave any angelic night unblown, if you know what I mean. So it was drill, several hundred holes. Normally only about, it's always, and Chairman know what I'm talking, it's the density of the rock, how far you drill down and how far apart you put your blast. Ours were about a foot apart, because this was pretty heavy rock, and probably about 10 inches down. Then you've got to pack them. And we use cordite, which I know Shama knows what that is. And then it's an instantaneous connection explosion. Boom. I did that as a job. Wow, I'm trying to think now. Over 40 years ago. Used to live in a shack. When the sun went down, the power went off. And we're up before the sun got up. By yourself? Oh, yeah, okay. But you know what I mean, it's always, in general, if there's more than one person, you don't know what you've done, you always drill, pack and blow. First job in the morning normally is digging. Yeah, first thing in the morning, looking forward to digging. At least by the end of the day, you knew you were just packing, loading up the cordite, sitting back having a cup of tea. I used electric blasting caps. We'd connect probably 200 set charges with cordite. Just a simple loop around, cordite to detonation, cordite to main plug, and hide. This stuff was like razor blades flying around when it blew up. Probably killed several thousand wildlife. Just shattered. Like if you imagine really hard shale, but it wasn't shale, called red rock. The oldest rock on Earth, believe it or not, in the middle of Australia. Cordite is actually an explosive itself. You can wrap cordite 3 or 4 times around a tree, ignite it, and it will shear the tree off at the level you've set the cordite. Farmers use it all the time here. Limestone, yeah. Well, that goes like powder or like a missile. I've done limestone. A lot of the time it just blows into powder. But not this red rock. Blind, okay. Certainly a lot harder than cleaning a window. 14-hour days minimum we used to do. And it was hot. Don't know how much water we used to. We used to get 2 20-gallon water containers and put them under trees, put them on a big rock, had a tap on them. They're both empty by the end of the day between 4 blokes. So that's a good 10 litres or 3 or 4 gallons per person, just drinking water. You work about 20 minutes and then you're just covered in sweat. We used to have an old towel tied up to the tree that we kept damp, so you'd wipe your face and then you'd guzzle a lot of water. You can imagine that song if you've ever seen it. Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil. Out where 45 degrees. It was like that. We were pretty particular
each day we'd put basically what we called a point guard, and he'd be the guy setting, could be me, could be someone else, setting the cordite to the detonators, to the gelignite. Sticks were about 6 inches long by about, I think they're only about an inch across. Anyway, detonator, cordite, and you'd have to go up and down. Everyone had to be away, because you know why everyone had to be away. If it blew up, one of us would be gone. But we'd give the all clear, and we'd go and hide, and we deliberately dug a bunker in the sand, probably about 60 feet away. And it was always just an instantaneous boom. Then you sit there for a couple of minutes, for the reason being that some of these rocks went a very long way in the sky, and you push yourself up against the side of the trench, and you'd hear them land. Boom, 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 boom. But they pay you good for doing shit like that. I mean, in those days, 79 or 80, I think I did that. So in 79, I was getting about $1,200 a week to do that. Mind you, working 14-hour days, out for 3 weeks at a time. So you make about $5,000 in 3 weeks. Not much different than what people do these days. They go out for 3 and 4 weeks at a time doing similar things. I'd be willing to do anything when I was younger. If it was going to make me a quid, I'd go and do it. $15 an hour? Geez, it's a bit rough. 10 hours, you only get $150. We had a 13-week contract to do that one. And that was done in, I think, 4 swings. The last one was 4 weeks, I think. 3 weeks and 1 4 week, mainly because we couldn't get in. The rains had set in, the roads turned to water. So we basically sat around for about 4 days, just waiting for somewhere to get out.
Okay, any packing boxes I have now, Eddie wants them.
Does he? For his cans?
Well, apparently he had been trying to ring me, but...
Well, we got rid of most of them.
Well, I'll have 3 for him.
Okay. Are they coming around?
No, not until I've got the other ones.
They come up all right. Really? Don't you reckon?
Yeah, so I said.
Like I say, it just needs a clean now. I have to move your teddies tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or they get wet.
I have to put a towel down too then so you don't wet the carpet.
Oh no, I'm just going to towel on the shelf.
Yeah, but you dripped on the floor here when you took it out of the bucket.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Different contracts, different prices. I used to go to the mines. You know how open pit mines are done. They're surveyed, they're marked, they're levelled, and then they're blasted. So we used to do all the prep survey for that. Yeah, they're all day doing the same shit. And then you say, what did I get paid this week? Oh yeah, that was worth it. Still good money in the mines here, really good money. 250, 300,000 a year you can make. I think if you worked a year here, you could definitely buy a 30-year-old RV with a profit. Still take home a couple of $100,000. We thought we'd be smart tonight and go down to a big hardware store. Thought it'd be quiet. It was packed. In Nova Scotia, 98. Well, your summers can get hot, but not for long, but they can get hot. Suppressive heat. Must be terrible having a summer of 2 weeks. Drive you mad. Guess what temperature it is tomorrow here? We're in the middle of autumn. All right? We are 6 weeks away from winter being official. And tomorrow's temperature is 100 degrees. Today was 95. I think we've decided just to have one season in Australia. Yeah, heat stroke. You get a lot of people that get heat stroke. You've got to just keep drinking. Heat stroke hits people really quickly. They say, anyone that used to work with us would say, go and get a drink. No, I'm right. No, you're not. And we'd tell them to go and keep drinking. And when they used to go to the watering station, you'd see them guzzle about a gallon, thinking, well, you weren't thirsty. Yeah, might have been. Doesn't take long when you get dehydrated. You can die from heat stroke. People do die regularly in Australia. -12. Yeah, welcome to spring. It's springtime in Canada. Maybe the Earth will stop rotating, Chamo. They haven't told us, and we're just going to have a permanent summer. 6 weeks away from winter. It's 100 tomorrow. You don't see that in tourist brochures. Still didn't get our new fitted sheets for the beds. Bit disappointed because it's Easter Friday tomorrow, so there'll be no postage for 4 days.
Have you had a message from them?
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, we get, to be honest with you, I've worked all my life in the heat. When it gets to about 42, 43, you just change the way you work. Instead of getting work at 6, you'll start work at 4:35. You get a lot done between then and about 11 o'clock. Then we'd have like a 4-hour break, and we'd come back and do another from, say, 6 till about 9. Because if you're going to work in the extreme heat, you get very little done. But I don't know about you, but everyone I've ever worked with works at their best for the first 4 hours of a day. I guess because you want to get into it and get it done. By the end of a hot day, where it's been 110 all day, you don't really feel like working that hard. Man, did you used to eat? You know, you pack a lunch for yourself in the morning. No one really had breakfast. You had smoke a round of sandwiches, lunch, about 1 o'clock, another round of sandwiches. Come dinner time, about 7 o'clock at night, whole cow with salt and pepper. Thank you. Good day, Tony. You have an Apple Pencil. Oh, you must have got one awarded from school, did you? Well done, teacher's pet. You love your AC. Well, my ACs are sitting on the back patio still because the old guy that fitted the other ones was going to do these, but his off-sider got the virus. Bloody hot here again, and even hotter tomorrow. Where Tony lives, Tony Abbott, they actually have seasons. We used to live over there, but not in West Australia. Tomorrow's going to be 100. Very warm, never-ending summer. Jeez, don't need the heat on here, Tony. I don't know what time it is here, but this is as cool as it's been all day. 24 degrees, and it feels warmer than that. And in foreign language, nearly 76. $0.99. Tony Abbott likes to see his monkey dance.
Yep.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah, he does it so he doesn't get blocked or booted.
But you can have the person who would hate him most, give him $1, and he'd still dance. Terrible life, though. Seriously. I'm bragging about the weather. I'd like Tony's weather. I'd like to have 17 degrees.
No.
What, night time? I think our minimum's going to be 20.
Yeah. Oh, we're having 37 tomorrow.
Mm. No, I don't think your info is given on Super Chat. Depends, I think, how you give it. But, yeah, no, not normally. I don't give any more. I gave it the office, and the office went wild. No more.
Yeah, but you never gave to him anyway.
No, never would. I can arrange 14 days fully paid accommodation for him, along with 3 meals a day. It's called an internment camp, where the rest of the homeless in Chicago are. And because you're not stationary and staying in your place of abode, and you're getting out every day to go to the shop, you are breaching Illinois and Chicago law. The people that are going to get him are the health department. Staying in a van is not a permitted exercise as in quarantine, because you're getting out every day to go to the shop, which means you're breaching. But he will be oblivious to all of this. Well, he's the last person that could survive through that, because he is morbidly obese. He obviously has liver, kidney, visceral fat working away on the organs. He's probably definitely diabetic, and he's not looking in health ever. He doesn't remember the early Tony Abbott videos. Back in time, movie time. Shh. Oh, this is a wanker. Total knobhead. That was from 1927, Tony Abbott.
After I poured it and got paid again for a while before bed.
Good night.
So you'll have to be in charge because I'm not on there now.
Yeah. shut it down, surely. Right. We did have her daughter-in-law and her baby and her younger daughter, 3-year-old, come round today. And we'd all talked about it, and the 3-year-old said, "Do I get a hug?" I said, "You do, but here's a piece of paper." She said, "What's that?" I said, "That's an IOU hug." "Oh, okay, I'll keep that." I've never seen so much junk food eaten by one person. Teenage boys are obviously famous for that, but when you're getting close to, well, definitely middle age, and that's your complete diet of your whole life. They might have deleted it, Tony, but I have a deep memory. I remember the phone call, Tony. Do you remember the phone calls? Yes, my memory is complete. I think he abused you at one of them, off memory. But happily dances like a monkey for the 99 cents you throw at the floor. So we're just about in complete lockdown here because it's what people are doing without being told. A few bullheads doing silly things, but that'll be same where Tony lives, but not many. And in my state, Shamo, the latest news is that repeat offenders, in other words, those that just ignore and flaunt the law, they'll get fined. It depends what state you're in. Some states it's $11,000. I think mine is $1,500. But in my state now, if you've been caught once and then you're caught twice, a ankle bracelet is applied. And then you are tracked. The kids, you're not. The state government has bought 200 of them, and the Premier said, "I hope we don't have to use them, but if we have to, we will." And I believe at this stage, there's 11 people in my state trying to explain to their wives why they have an ankle bracelet. And of course, the other reason for ankle bracelets in Australia is for sex offenders. So it's a very good psychological tool. I think they won't be going out because they get applied for 30 days. You went shopping. Selling the Lisa Marine. I just wonder, Tony, if people have got a spare $300. There's not one person in Australia, I imagine, would buy a 30-year-old RV. They'd be like, "You have got to be kidding." And in Australia, if you bought an RV and you ripped the toilet out and the shower, you'll get what we call a red sticker because it's not factory compliance. That's right, they'll tow you, take it to a dumpster yard. Yeah, one of the things that we haven't been buying a lot of is fresh fruit and vegetables because people have this habit of picking up a couple of tomatoes going, "Nah, I don't want that one, put it back." Eggplant, "Yeah, no, I don't want that one." So I have in my backyard now 6 very large raised garden beds. No soil in them yet, but within a week I will have planted. Within 6 weeks I will be harvesting bits and pieces. In 12 weeks I'll have more than you can imagine. waste of time. Shamo. Shame I'm still not in the prison service. I could have taken you both through on a night time through D-Wing for all the crazies. I think we had 2 Elvises in my time in the prison, and they couldn't sing either. We had, I'm pretty sure we had 2 gods, 2 Elvises, some guy who thought he could fly. He was always bruised, that guy. Them's the breaks. As I would say, I'd take him to the nurse, his elbows dislocated. What happened? Yeah, trying to fly again. That's the sort of people that used to lock away for their own safety. Oh, I don't think he cares. Generally, when people say they're going home, they're going to someone's place. You know, sisters or uncles or something, but no one will have him. I do remember a video by his sister saying they did buy 2 burial plots and one's currently empty. But it's absolute despair of living standards. No shower, no cleaning, crap everywhere, eating crap, crapping in crap bags, sleeping 15 hours a day, then starting a video and tell everyone how tired you are because you've slept too much. It's like revisiting 14-year-old boys in their rooms, playing games all night, not getting up till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the idea of having a shower was like, what do you mean? I've got to get back on the game. I had a quick look yesterday. I have no doubt he's just outside Chicago in a trucking stop. But the truck drivers will be getting a bit pissed off after a while because they know everyone should be under quarantine. And if they see the same person in the same area where they're going, they might feel like they're threatened because this guy just keeps living around them. There's a good chance the phone call may be made by a truck driver. Canned pasta. Did he tip it off as a health food? I'd eat that crap if I had to, don't get me wrong. But I don't have to. Eggs are a good go-to if you lived in something like that. In a van, you can always make food out of eggs. Egg sandwiches, omelettes, whatever. Bacon and eggs. If I'm living in an RV, I'm eating well. Yeah. Well, statistically, there are more poor people in America than there are in many other countries. He said the sauce made it. Oh, that would be the sodium pretend tomato sauce you're talking about. Yeah, nice and salty. Yummy. What happened to my liver? It's dying. I think his body's in such a bad way. If he got the virus, it could kill him, to be honest. Is that what you call them, cooking videos? All right, I'll take your word for it. And the other one I saw was many years ago when he was going to make garlic sauce. I thought, I'll watch this. He decided to cover the interior of the van with a speckled version of an Italian's smelly garlic van. I think to this day, There are pieces of garlic still stuck to the ceiling. But it's I'm sure there's people still there warn other people, because he's always looking for vulnerable people. Do you know what I mean? So he can say, oh, look, maybe you could look after me, change me nappy. You know, you'd probably like it. "20 minutes of ramen noodle making. I can actually make ramen noodles and have them cooked in about 15 minutes. I think everything he eats, though, Tony, is ramen, because he's just ramming it down. It's like having a big dog, putting the food bowl down. Gone. And the dog looks at you. Any more? All I do is some more. Food. Woof. I actually quite like hot food, hot peppers. But he's a wuss. Man, I don't even have to go there to know what the dialogue would be. It'll be whinge about something, moan about something else, blame somebody, and then beg, and then repeat. You know, about 3 hours, the same thing. My car window's not fixed. 2 hours into a hangout, 65 references to the car window that someone else didn't fix properly. And it's like, it's the same shit. You only ever have to watch one hangout and then just say, if someone says, what happens after that? It's the same shit. It's the same words. I'm the king of the car parks, I'm king of the freeloaders. I am the best singer. Wow, that's not true. I'm the best cook. No, you couldn't cook to save your fucking life. I'm the best dressed. No, you're a slob. Ate at the finest restaurants. No, it's always plastic plates and plastic knives and forks. That's not fine dining. And Tony's reference tonight in regards to a food review, a tin can of ravioli or something, really is not a food review. So he's sort of good at fuck all, really. Good at nothing. Yeah, I think Totes is a good bloke. Probably get annoying after a while, but he seems a decent enough chap. I once showed my son-in-law, I said, I just want you to, and it was a freeze on a hangout, I just started it up. I said, I want you to tell me two things. What nationality do you think this bloke is? And how old do you think he is? And he said, what did he say? Lebanese. I said, pretty close. And I said, what about the age? He said, 61, 62. I said, yeah, you're about right. As someone who'd never seen him before. And if you stop 10 people in the street, Tony, and froze it, showing people, ask the same question, I'm pretty sure you get the same answer. He doesn't look under 50 at all. He looks about 60. And it seems that being oblivious to being morbid obese and using the words, I am the finest specimen of a man. No, you're basically Jabba the Hutt. Let's be honest. Come on now. sort of the guy that would have stayed home with mum. Unfortunately, mum's not home, and the nursing home says he can't sleep in the car park. I don't know which one of you is next going in to venture into that despot's channel, but I do ask you to ask a question. What sort of family celebrations are they doing for Easter? And see what he says. I used to, like I say, seriously, Tony, it's a great example of people that used to be in D Wing, where I used to work. There's always only about a dozen in there, but they're crazy, delusional, demanding. Some think they can fly, and they believe it. The only difference is he's not in D Wing. Well, yet. Yeah. We know what we do to blokes like that if we found them in the park, Tony, in Australia. Be a re-education session occurring with feet and elbows and a smack in the mouth. Coach has got a new channel, has he? He used to be 9100 at one stage. That was 95. But I'll let you good people go because I'm going to go toodaloo myself. And I hope you have a good day, Tony. I imagine you got the weekend off. Enjoy it. Get out and have fun in your backyard. Or go up and down on the driveway in your car. Just imagine you're on a big trip. When you run out of petrol, you're there. You won't need any towing that way. But you have a good day, all of you. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it. Times are different, but we can always get up to mischief at home. Have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.